This is a Headgum podcast.
Gather round! I like that! Yeah!
Yes! Mess around.
Mess around!
That's what I'm talking about.
Uh-huh!
Stand all day. Mess around. All night. Look at that. Look at mess.
They messing around.
Hi, babe.
Yo! Hey, babe. How are you?
Hi. I'm good.
Ah, you look good.
Thanks, man.
I see you
Thank
decided
you.
to become presentable today for everybody.
Bro, I called my mom and I was like, you know how mad it's making me right now that I'm sitting here putting on makeup, brushing my hair, and I said, and that man's going to put on a cute jacket and a hat. And look!
Yep.
This takes like an hour to do. I don't have the skills. I'm not a professional.
Hannah, it's called a hat and a jacket.
No, but then there's this whole face situation. You don't know. You're a boy. You don't know. You don't know these things.
I
Just
do know.
sit
When
there
I go
and,
out in the
like-
streets, Hannah, no. When I go out in the streets, people, they stop. They stop, they stare. They wonder, what's it like to be so good looking? What's it like to be so hot and attractive? They wonder.
You sound so presidential.
Yeah, that's what they say.
So wait, where are you right now?
Right now, I'm in St. Louis. I'm filming a film right now.
Filming a film.
Filming a film, and with Justin Long.
Get
One
out.
of our favorites. Yeah, one of our favorites. So we're doing a film together right now. So please stay tuned. Stay tuned. It's going to be a
Get
funny
out
one.
of town.
I am out of town. Yeah, I'm in St. Louis.
You've
here.
been talking to me about this film for a minute. I didn't realize that
Yeah.
Justin was going to be a part of it. That's exciting. It's that thing I feel like with New Girl where so many phenomenal actors were on it. And we did that show for so long that if you then stay in the industry and keep working, you keep crossing paths with people that were on the show. You know?
Oh, 100%. My favorite is when I'm working with someone, crew member or a guest director, and they'll say, hey, we met before. I worked on New Girl. And I'm like, holy crap, you know what I mean? And you realize you've already done the thing together.
I have to say, I had a weird moment like that, too. So I just wrapped Super Troopers 3.
Yeah,
buddy.
Pew, pew, pew.
And Jay Chandrasekhar is the director. He directed New Girl. That's how I met him. He remembered me a decade later and put me in his movie playing his sister. But the crazy thing was Sakina Joffrey, the legend, the icon, the most phenomenal actress ever, plays my mom.
Yes.
And his mom, obviously, because we're brother and sister, and Super Troopers 3. But her mother, Mother Joffrey.
Mother Joffrey.
Mother Joffrey, she played my grandmother on New Girl.
On New Girl. Yes.
I was like,
I remember.
This is like the most meant to be. I was like, your mother played my grandmother. Now you play my mother. And Sakina has a daughter who's this beautiful woman. And I was like, she has to play my daughter at some point. I was like, just so I can close the loop of your family.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, the New Girl
If you
universe.
talk to Jay, tell him my number is the same. Like it hasn't. As I was looking at it just now, I was looking at it going, no, he hasn't hit me up. He hasn't reached out.
Super Troopers 4?
4?
Nat Faxon is also on Super Troopers 3. Also.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody's connected into this New Girl multiverse.
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
I love
so we
Nat.
have to talk about it. So today we're going to dive into a brand new episode, and we're doing it with our brand new partnership with Headgum, which is
With
very
Headgum.
exciting.
That's right. I love Headgum. Yeah, I do my other podcast with Headgum, the Morning After podcast, and they've been great partners. And we are super excited. We made the shift. We just thought it was a dope fit. It was a dope connect.
Yeah.
So in case the fans are wondering where we went, you got to handle certain things in order to make that partnership happen. So forgive us for our absence, but we are back. Go tell your grandmas.
It's true. We
Go
took
tell
a
your
little break.
aunties.
We took a little break to switch to Headgum and to go make some movies.
Yes. You were doing Super
back.
Troopers.
We're back.
100%.
I will say, so this episode that we're going to talk about today and recap, which is LAXmas, great title.
Yep.
Written by Matt Fussfeld and Alex Cuthey. who actually is in the episode, and directed by our beloved Trent O'Donnell. I have to say, as an episode to come back to dive back into our podcast, I loved it so much. Like, it genuinely made me emotional. It was like true, the gang's all together. So funny, full of all the good one-liners, full of the heart. It's the most quintessential New Girl hitting on all cylinders episode. So give us the rundown.
Oh, 100%. Also, I will say this. It's called LAXmas, but I remember shooting at the Ontario airport.
Yes!
Is that where we were shooting?
We shot at the Ontario airport. Yeah.
Yes, an active airport. Just for the folks out there, it's not an abandoned airport. We were at an active airport.
Yeah.
And even while watching it, I do remember feeling like, oh, this is an airport. A lot of times when you're shooting a certain scene with a lot of people, it can still feel not authentic. Because of the surroundings, because of the atmosphere and the million people walking around, it definitely felt like we were at an airport. So shout out to the Ontario airport, but let's dive right into it. Just in time for Halloween, by the way. We got ourselves a Christmas episode. It's season 4, episode 11, LAXmas. Now, this is the one where everybody goes to the airport together to head to their holiday destinations. Jess starts to spiral, as she does, about meeting Ryan's apparently very wealthy family. Nick and Winston, they can't catch a break on the standby list. We've all been there. Psych. I usually book first class. Coach tries to convince himself that he'd rather be on the beach than go see his niece for Christmas. And Cece and Schmidt, they get an indecent proposal in the first class lounge. Let me tell you something. I've been to the first class lounge, and these proposals never happen. We got Billy Eichner, he guest stars as an irritable customer service agent, and Richard Belding appears as Pervert Santa. Which surely must be one of his life highlights. As you said before, directed by Trent O'Donnell, Matt Fussfeld, and Alex Cuthbertson wrote it. Now you were talking a little bit about your emotional state when watching it. What was your like first reaction? You turned it on, boom.
You know what's really interesting is exactly what you just had to like stop everything to say, which is like Ontario Airport. I remember it really clearly. One, because also I'm Canadian. Like Ontario is Ontario. It's like a whole province. And here's one just like hanging out randomly on the outskirts of LA. So different Ontario, my Canadians.
Yeah.
We didn't go up to Canada to shoot this. But what I remember was I wrapped before everyone else. For some reason. And I feel like, I don't know if it was with you. I rode in with somebody, probably you, to be honest with you. And I rode in with somebody but I wrapped early. So I was like, well, you can wait like a few more hours. And it was like, I don't know, at that point, 1 a.m. or something. And I wish I could remember, but there was a PA on set who then drove me home, which also meant that she got to go home because she wasn't going to drive an hour back. She also got to finish her day. And I remember the drive. And I wish I could remember who it was because she told me her whole life story and it was so fascinating. And it was just one of those moments, you know, you're on set with 100 people and we kind of know each other, but you really don't get to sometimes sit down and like deep dive into each other's lives. And I just remember that drive. So I was so grateful for it. And it felt like we were in our own Christmas episode, driving away from like the fake Christmas lights and the whole thing and all this feel good stuff we just shot. And we both just became so open and shared so much of our life stories. That's what I remember about getting back from Ontario Airport. So that was my first thought. And then my second thought was, how cool it was to work with Billy Eichner because he was so funny.
That dude is hilarious.
Hilarious.
Yeah, I'd obviously known him from his show. Was it Eichner on the Street or
Billy on the Street?
Billy on the Street. And then and then we had a brief interaction. We had a really brief interaction as far as filming together. And then I remember being out years later and seeing him at an event of sorts, like a film festival maybe. And we both had a film at a festival. And I was like, oh, I'm going to go say hi to him. But he was surrounded by a lot of people. And then I immediately, once I was like walking up towards him, we had like a, hey, dude, we worked together before. I was like, yes, you remember. And it was like a cool moment. Really nice guy, really funny guy. And also my takeaway from it, and I'll find the photo. it was, and I normally don't have this reaction to like episodes because I don't really care that much about certain things, but it was the pink sweater that I was wearing. I remember so many people asking me about it and talking about it, and I just remember going like, "Oh, this is the episode." I was like, "That's it. This is the episode." And people were going, "Remember that pink episode you wore, sweater you wore, blah 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 blah." And I could never remember what they were talking about because obviously I wear a bunch of stuff on that show.
Yeah.
And then watching it, I went, "There it is. That's the." That's
well,
the
you
one.
should screen grab it and send it to Deborah McGuire. She'll probably for sure remember where it came from. Also, Deborah McGuire, by the way, who was our costume designer for the entire time of New Girl, did Super Troopers 3. Again, New Girl universe is teeny tiny. Yeah, she was there. She's hanging out with me in Boston for like a month and a half.
Checking out my phone right now, Santa. I'm checking out my phone and I'm looking through the text with me and Deborah. And I don't remember her ever agreeing to do any movies that I was a part of. That's crazy.
This whole Christmas episode recap is hijacked by Lamorne being like, "Why am I not in Super Troopers 3? He better put you in 4.
Jay doesn't like me. I got that.
Jay loves you.
I have a feeling
Jay loves everybody.
We could talk about how much Jay hates me when we come back from commercial break. And we are back. Hannah, let's dive in, shall we?
Let's dive in. By the way, one of the funniest starts. I feel like this whole episode is like that. It takes every Christmas episode trope and turns it on its head. Like how Santa turns out to be Pervert Santa, right? Yeah. Like all of those things that just starts to turn it on its head. And it starts out this way with the most diabolical Christmas play I think I've ever seen.
Yeah, what was going on?
I don't know.
That was a wild, very, I don't know how to explain it, but it was very funny. And I could only imagine like working with, and I obviously I wasn't there on that filming day, but I was like, who are these kids? These kids are really good. These kids, the
were
main
very
guy,
good.
the little kid is very, very funny.
Very committed to the bit.
Yeah, 100%. And in very New Girl fashion.
Yeah. I'm telling you, this is the most quintessential New Girl episode to me. Then we hop into the props closet where Ryan and Jess are like making out, which then a line that caught me off guard and made me laugh so hard where she said like, "I feel like we're gay men in the 50s."
50s, yes.
I don't know why that made me laugh. And then all of a sudden, of course, Principal Foster comes like trying to like resist diving into the bottle of wine. Also so funny.
Let me break this down for you. And this is why this is a very troublesome scene. If I'm driving down the street, Hannah, and I gotta pee really bad, it could be at night, pitch black, it's midnight, I gotta pee really bad, and I just pull over and I go pee on the side of the road.
Okay.
If there is a school that I happen to be peeing within like 100 feet of, that's a crime. That is I'm on the registry. Yeah. They were drinking alcohol. Well, Principal Foster was drinking alcohol right where kids were, right behind the kids at a school, and Jess and Ryan were going at it right there, right
Tops
behind the stage where the kids were. They should be locked up and put on the registry. They should be put on the registry. That's not okay.
Well, maybe the next episode where Winston becomes a cop, he can retroactively arrest them. For crimes committed. That is very true. It is crazy the amount of crimes that are being committed. You're just like, what's happening, you guys? Like, stick it out for one more hour, then go home. Well, and where it's not.
They say they say it's exciting. They say there's the bit of you could get caught. You know what I mean? You could get caught. It's like
I've never understood that. I know a lot of people that's their like thing. The fear of getting caught, like actually, like makes it more exciting. Not for me.
Yeah. Is that what Winona Ryder, what she thought she was stealing shit? she back in the day.
You think it was for the thrill?
She was rich. She didn't need to steal nothing.
Maybe it's a cry for help. Those things are more of a cry for help. I'm talking about people who like get off on it. They're just like, ooh, let's do it. And like the idea that we could get caught kind of turns me on. And I'm just like, hell, no, thank you.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Whenever I get pulled over by a hot lady cop, then we ended up in the, in my mind, we in the back of the squad car.
What's the little wait?
Yeah.
Like a cop. one of my favorite songs. This whole recap's going to be like this, you guys. I'm so sorry. We're very excited to be back together.
Yes, 100%.
It's going to be a mess. But,
No.
Okay. All right. So we're back at the loft. Schmidt wonders out loud if he agreed to ride to the airport with everybody, why he agreed to ride to the airport with everybody. And they did it so they could hang out a little bit more on the way to the airport. This is one of those TV moment suspension of belief things. Because the idea that all their flights would fall around the exact same time, that it would make sense to carpool to what I assume is playing as LAX is bonkers.
It's bonkers. That's right. It's bonkers. Because in real life, some people would have left a day before. Some people would have left, I don't know, like 2 days before, get some family time in before.
Yeah, or your flight's in the morning and one flight's at night. You're not sitting at LAX for hours. But I'm glad they took us for the ride. But when I saw that, I was like, wow, we're coming in strong with a Christmas episode thing where you go like, don't look too closely at this part.
Yeah, and I love how they're all like kind of in the same general area. Like they're leaving London, Hawaii, Chicago. They would typically be in different terminals.
Different terminals for sure.
They were all just kicking it at the exact same spot. And I get it, it's television, but it was funny and awfully convenient.
I will say I do feel like this moment between Winston and Nick, where he bumps you to a 7, was improvised.
Yeah. Because you know what it was? I got tired of them writing that I was a 6, even though People Magazine has me as one of the sexiest men alive. And Cosmo called me one of the hottest TV actors of all time. I just really hated that they kept calling me a 6. And I think because the writer's room was filled with 6s. And so they were like, well, we got to like knock him down a level. And I don't like it very much. I don't like it very much.
I could feel like Jake just looked at you and could see he was genuinely bugging you. And he was like, 7? Like a 7? And you're like, thank you. Yeah, 7.
They always call me a sweet, sweet 6. That's what they say. And I don't like that very much. So I'm like, I'm going to go up to a 7. Now, Schmidt's going to Long Island.
Schmidt's going to Long Island. Yeah.
Yeah, you're going to New York, which is New York, Long Island, same thing.
Yeah.
And we're going to Chicago. Nick and Winston, we're going to Chicago. When he's
Coach
explaining,
is going on vacation, by the way, also hysterical. Yeah, he's like, "I'm going to Hawaii on vacation," and I'm like, "Yeah." Also, where's all this Coach money? Like the idea that he could just go and take like a Hawaiian vacation. The tickets to Hawaii over Christmas are very expensive.
But you know what I love about TV is that whenever someone's going to Hawaii, they wear a Hawaiian shirt.
That's true.
just so they can be like, it's true. Like, could you imagine every time you're going to a location, you wear a shirt with that thing on it? It's like, man, I'm going to Scotland. Let me go ahead and throw on this kilt really quick.
Do some weird cultural stereotype.
Yeah.
Before I enter the country or the state or the city. Wait, also one of the funniest lines when Outside Dave jumps in the car. And then he goes, "Are you wet?" And he goes, "Just my bottom."
The bottom, yes. That Outside Dave scene, every time he's on, it's one of the funniest. And what's cool about this, what's really funny about this one, besides or beyond the Outside Dave bit, is that it was clearly another Ford commercial. It was.
It's true.
He's like, "Ooh, what are these little trees for?" He's like, "Oh yeah, it helps you practice driving more efficiently." Yeah. It's like, oh God. Oh, God, this Ford Focus does everything. Or as a Fusion. It was a Ford Fusion.
I remember Taron Killam telling me that when we did Killing Gunther, we did that movie together, and he was talking about how in SNL, when that started happening, when they would do their little kind of shorts, their little comedy shorts, all of a sudden they were all sponsored. And then how do you sit there and make your, super funny satirical, bit, but fully still somehow...
Yeah.
Work in your sponsor, but then not make it feel like an ad, but make sure you say their name a ton, but also like insult them, but like not too much. And it's a totally different type of comedy writing that you have to do. And it's just part of the world. People can hate it or not. It doesn't matter. That's how it is. That's how you get to watch this stuff. This is how we get paid. Yeah. Just a reality. But it's funny how New Girl had that long relationship with Ford. And I feel like they did a pretty good job of how they kind of wove it in. I don't feel like a lot of people pick up on it.
Yeah. 30 Rock said it best. I think they said, Alec Baldwin's character said, Tina Fey's character, he said, "Liz," he goes, "don't you realize your show is just a bunch of skits in between commercials?" Yeah. Like
That's all TV. Bruh.
That's what it is. That's what it is. That's all we get to
That's
watch, you guys.
what it is.
Yeah.
Okay, wait. So we're finally at the airport. The group arrives at LAX. It's totally insane because there's a Midwest storm. Classic. I don't know why it would affect every single flight. But anyway.
Every flight.
Everything is delayed. And then also a line that caught me off guard. This is why this is one of my favorite New Girl episodes, I'm realizing, is just the lady in the wheelchair for no reason just busts by and screams, "Move, white bitch!"
Like, bitch, yeah. I mean,
no reason.
Too good.
You just had to throw it in there.
She
also,
was white.
she was white. That's my point. You're white. Who are you yelling at? And then you see Alex, who's one of the writers of this episode, and they're acting all flustered. He got a little cameo in there. Also married to Liz Merriweather. Sweet little love story that happened on our show.
Thanks to me. I never told the story. But I'm not going to tell it. I was the reason they got married.
Don't even, because I feel like I was the reason. We will not tell our stories here on the show, but I was
the reason.
A very critical part of this.
I was the reason from beginning to middle to end. Not end. It hasn't ended. It's not going to end. It's forever.
Did we do this together and not know? I didn't know what you were doing, and you didn't know what I was doing with Liz and Alex?
I knew exactly what I was doing with those two.
I know, but you didn't know what I was doing is my point. And I didn't know you were doing something.
Hannah, I'll just tell you right now. I teach a sex class. And
okay, my bit's real and yours is not. This is what I'm like. Okay, you had me. I was like, oh.
I'm not responsible for anybody's happiness. I'm single. I'm out here alone and lonely, just wondering, pondering.
Okay, so Jess, talking about romance, leaves Ryan a voicemail to explain the delay situation and apologizes to his parents, and says to apologize to his parents because she's going to be late. She's trying to figure this whole thing out. Then she steps up to the counter to try to help everybody get on their flights, and that's where Billy Eichner does one of the greatest, driest deliveries of how it works to fly standby.
Oh,
Chef's kiss. So funny how she moves up and down the list based on if it's pleasing to him or not.
Or not. Oh, my God. That would be my nightmare. You ever been bumped from a flight? I've been bumped from a flight for no reason. First class, ready to go, and I get there, and they bring me up to the counter and tell me, ask me if I want to get on the next flight. I say no. They say, well, you're gonna have to sit coach in this one. And I go, well, I don't understand. I gave you X amount of dollars for that seat. Yeah. Well, what we can do is we can just refund you some of it. Like, well, I don't get it. Why? What happened? We overbooked. I'm like, and I'm the one who has to go? Yeah. I was like, so they overbooked, and I'm the one who has to go. Interesting, curious. And I've done it, and I was like, okay, cool, I'll get on the flight. And then you get to that first class, and you look around, and you go, interesting. I'm not one of those guys. But just the looks of it all. You go, I see what you wanted your first class to look like. Yep, talking to you, United. Sorry.
I will say I flew back and forth a lot to do this film from the West Coast to the East Coast, and I went on an early flight, and I was wearing, it's called the Mega Fit hoodie sweatsuit. So I was wearing like these huge sweatpants, huge big hoodie. My face is all scrubbed down, no makeup, no nothing, not looking this cute. And I'm in my hoodie like this and whatever. And I had someone come up to me, and he told me that I didn't make him feel comfortable and that I shouldn't be allowed to board the flight. And I shouldn't be allowed to get on the plane. I think he thought I was a little brown man in a hoodie, and he didn't want me on the plane.
And who was the person? He was just a person
passenger.
Sitting on the plane?
He said, I don't think you should be allowed to fly. I don't think they should be allowed to fly. And then the crazy thing is I boarded. I was also flying first class. He also happened to be flying first class and was sitting kind of in the same row, like on the other side of the aisle. Yeah. And he was like, I can't believe they let you on the plane. And I was like,
oh my God.
I didn't even have any words. I was like, I don't know I'm so sorry.
You would have just been like, well, how about you leave, sir? If you don't want me, you shouldn't trust this flight.
The hood was
you leave.
sending him. And everything about me, I think, confused him because he heard my voice and I had like a girl's voice, but he was in his bones thought I was a brown man.
Oh God.
I know. I was like, I don't know what to tell you, but I was like, if anyone's making me feel uncomfortable, bro, it's you. You're making people feel uncomfortable. Stop trying to get me kicked off a flight. Yeah, that was that was a few weeks ago. Isn't that crazy?
Wait, this is recent?
Just happened. Yeah.
Oh, I thought this was during like 9/11 or something.
Like when it made sense. Where people would be suspicious of you. No, a couple weeks ago. Yeah, I know. I've had that happen before where when I travel, people think I'm a little brown man and then they get very uncomfortable.
But even still, I'm like, brown people can't travel? What the hell, bro? Like, this is ridiculous.
I'm buying a train. Anyway.
Oh, my God.
Okay, so here we watch Billy Eichner be phenomenal. Goes back and forth, stressing Jess out. And then this Schmidt CC scene of going into the first class lounge.
Yeah. When
Schmidt's trying to posture.
He's trying his best. He's doing everything but asking how he can get in.
The cutest thing ever, where he's trying to make it seem like he deals with someone else and makes up a name and then asks if she's ill and just being like he needs to lay down and he's just trying to bullshit his way in.
Oh my gosh. And then CC, you walk up and you just say, can we get 2 guest passes, please? It's like, yeah. Oh, you can do that in here? Which I think is hilarious because that's happened to me before where I would go to a lounge and I would have a first class ticket and I would just instantly think I'm going in and they would go, oh, you can't come in because you're not traveling internationally.
That happened to me too. Just also in this past thing, they were like, she goes, how many miles have you flown today?
Yeah.
That was the question. I was like, this is a question? And she goes, you haven't flown enough to go in. And I was like, but I'm flying first class. She's like, you didn't fly enough miles today.
It's either cross country, it's either New York to LA, one of those things, or New York to or international. And so I'd asked, I was like, well, damn, I thought I'd flown first class before. They're like, sorry, you can't, you're not able to. And then I would look as I'm turning around the big board that would say what you need to get in. Yeah. And it would say, or if you have a platinum Amex card, you can get in. Yeah. And so I would turn around and be like, can I get in with one of these cards? And they'll go, oh yeah, if you have a platinum Amex. And I go, Did you assume I did not have one when I was trying to get in?
You may have just asked. You could have asked me a question. Do you have this? They don't want you in.
If I can get it. They said the only reason they were like the only way you can get in is if you're flying internationally, and they leave out the part with or if you have one of these cards, which I do.
Or buy the guest pass, or give them $50, and then you can go into the first class lounge.
If I'm 2 hours early for a flight, I'll pay the $50 to sit in comfort, and eat, eat for free and all that stuff. But anyway.
Well, anyway, if you're not in first class, you want to go get a sandwich, not in the first class lounge, it's going to cost you $50 anyway. So that's a hack, you guys. Travel
and you got
to
wait in line. Yeah.
All right, so Cece waltzes up. She buys 2 guest passes. Done. Totally fine. Nick, Jess, and Winston are hanging out at a gate. Nick, look, he says, should have taken trains. This is why it's probably top of mind for me.
This guy's too fickle. It's the play place for butterflies, is what he says. Play place
for butterflies. And then Ryan sends Jess a pic of his house.
Oh, Lord.
And it looks like a royal country mansion, and she freaks out.
Yeah, Nick calls it, he goes, that's some McDuck money right there. And I love this line by, I don't even know if this is scripted or not. It might have been where Winston is talking about the polo horses. He goes, actually called a polio horse he uses, and he goes, I don't even know if anything I just said was true, so just is accurate. So
I will say the way you delivered that line for a second, I was like, maybe.
Polio horse. Could be a polio horse.
And then the way it devolves, you're like, oh no, never mind. It's a whole bunch of bullshit. Got it.
That's not real.
That's not real.
Now the boys,
so
they
she
say
gets
goodbye.
Intimidated. She doesn't know if she wants to go. She's getting in her head, is Ryan's family too rich? Is she going to make a bad impression? And she's just starting to get really crazy. And then they do what you think you know the formula of, because then there's a guy who looks like Santa, and they play the twinkly little music, and you go, oh my gosh. And it's the principal from Saved by the Bell, aka Richard Belding. And I'm sure he loved doing this role because I'm sure he always gets cast as the nice guy, and he got to play the dirtiest, grossest, sit on my lap in a bathroom Santa.
One of the funniest moments is watching him do that. Was like, oh my God, if he could play a creep in his next project, like that would make me so happy. That would make me so happy. It reminded me of like whenever you would see Bob Saget do stand-up, and his stand-up was so dirty, and you would go, this is brilliant. This is one of the funniest, because we know him from being America's favorite dad. So then you go, oh, now this is a dirty motherfucker right here.
That's right.
Shout out to Richard Belding. Now Jess, she takes this opportunity. She sees Santa, and she's going to voice her woes, And that's when he drops the bomb on him. His lines in particular, I'll let you read them. I'll let you quote what he says.
What Santa says?
Yeah.
Why don't you come with me to the family bathroom? Sit on my lap. I can't. Sit on my lap, and I'll give you the sleigh ride you'll never forget. The fact that she also then gets to hear Billy Eichner, Barry.
Yeah.
Go, get out of here, Pervert Santa. Here's what I will say. I know where this scene was shot, too. This scene was shot at the Fox cafeteria on the lot.
Oh, where's it?
Bar? The bar is just the Fox cafeteria on the lot, and it was a night shoot. And the only reason I remember it is because I was also working the hallway scene that I feel like Max and I do getting into the first class lounge. We used that hallway in the Fox cafeteria. So we cheated that. We didn't shoot that at the airport. And it was one of the last things we shot. And so I remember all of us taking a big picture together at the end of the night. I'll find that picture so we can put it up. And it's such a sweet one. And there's a whole bunch of the crews in it. And I remember, it's the only reason I know exactly where it is. So that's at the Fox cafeteria. Which was always nice to find like places on the lot to shoot, so you're not driving to Ontario, pouring your heart out in the car. And so Billy tells Pervert Santa to get lost.
That's right.
And then says, well, if it isn't old Bangs LaRue. And now we see Jess. She's had enough.
Oh, yeah. She says, don't test me or I'll put your head in the trash can. Which was great because she's now on the same wavelength.
That's right.
As Barry, and now they can get along. Now they can talk, freely and potentially. And what you'll find out is help each other out because they bond immediately and they get drunk together, basically. Now we're back inside of the lounge. Right?
I forgot this storyline.
Yo, me too. I definitely forgot the storyline.
I forgot this storyline, and I loved it because I was like, again, a good Christmas episode. You want high stakes testing of the relationships, and they just went there with it, and it is so good. That guy is so disgusting. Also, does this happen in real life? Do you think somebody would ever walk up and be like, hey, you think I could...
Not in that fashion, but yeah, people do that all the time. There's a movie about it. What was the one?
Yeah, Indecent Proposal.
Indecent Proposal.
Yeah. That's the whole thing, right? For like $1 million or whatever the thing is. Like, that was a super famous movie, and then they obviously stole a bit of that for this thing here. But I just was like, so shocked. And it's the reason why, even though Schmidt's character is so insane and superficial and all the things, you do love him so deeply because when he takes a stand, he goes so far with it.
Oh my gosh. He calls him what do he call him? A bitch? He calls him a
bitch.
What did he call him?
Dirty old bitch.
I call him a bitch a lot. My favorite is when Max goes Long Island. You know, he's like, I'm not from Manhattan, I'm from Long Island. He says exaggerated Long
Billy
Island
Joel.
accent. Billy Joel just starts quoting Long Island things.
Oh my God, Wendy
which
wrote
is so
these
crazy
notes for us today, by the way, and she says, that guy looks like he's from The Golden Bachelor. You're not wrong.
Good. He definitely does. He definitely does.
Foxy.
And I've seen that guy in a bunch of stuff before. I've seen him in a bunch of stuff before. That's kind of his go-to look, like really cool, handsome old rich guy.
That's
you know?
right.
Which is what people say when they see me. So I'm letting these grays come in more. Letting these grays be going right there. Oh my God, that 6, I'm gonna turn it to a sweet, sweet 10 by the time I'm 70.
That's the goal.
Yeah, our one of our creators of the show, Jake Kasdan, our EP. If you pay attention to the standby list, he's number 1 on the standby list.
Of course he is.
Did you notice that?
I didn't notice it. I didn't. I see it now here in our notes, but I didn't notice that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I noticed it right away.
Too. That's what I love about TV is that you can put all these little special tiny things in.
Oh yeah.
Right? To send a little bit of love to everybody on your crew and your executives and family. You can stick your own family's names in there. Because at the end, I'll just say this now because it truly, you know what I'm going to say, warmed my heart. At the end of the episode, you see who the flight attendant is. Did you see who the flight attendant was?
Oh yeah, Cindy.
Cindy was my stand-in.
Yeah, your stand-in.
Who she is so beautiful.
Oh yeah.
And so kind. And when I was watching that last scene with her and Jake, where she's like, "Sir, you have to get off your phone. Sir, you have to go." I was wondering if they had envisioned it of like the person being like mean and annoyed. And Cindy is just so kind. There's like, I feel like that's probably the meanest she's ever been, was her in the scene during that take. She's the nicest person.
Cut to her personal life where she's beating her husband. Shut up.
We learn things about Cindy. No, she's the best. She's the greatest.
Oh my God.
Okay, so, we'll go back. We're going back to where we are. Nick's trying to tell people the pilots are drunk. Winston's pretending.
Because here's what's happening. Here's what's happening. They have a plan. Nick and Winston, they decide they want to figure out a way to hijack this, no pun intended, this standby list. And so they go to work. Nick is telling people that the pilots are drunk. Winston is pretending to be
breastfeed
this baby.
Winston being Winston.
And just letting people know this baby's going to scream. This baby is going to scream, and I'm not going to stop you. I'm not going to stop you. And Jess and Barry, they're still having a good old conversation. They're still getting wasted at the bar. And she's asking him if she's being dumb for feeling a type of way about the new Rich Ryan info, And he suggests that she should hide out with pizza and save big issues for the new year. Right?
Smart.
Just don't go.
Don't look at anything too close.
Yeah, don't do it. And then that's when Jess notices that Pervert Santa stole all her gifts.
She got reversed Santa.
Reverse Santa. We're just giving her all the ammo to not want to leave now.
Well, now she's like empty-handed as well. She's showing up empty-handed. It's like so much pressure. I would feel the same way.
Oh, 100%. And Ryan, obviously, he's the devil on Jess's shoulder. He's saying, you can't go to England without presents. And so then she texts Ryan and she says that her flight is canceled. Her flight is canceled. That's important. We'll save that for later, but that her flight is canceled. And we'll talk more about that when we come back from commercial break. And we are back. Now, Coach is on the phone. He gets a hold of his sister on a payphone because his battery's dead. I love the fact that he's trying to charge his phone and that the people who are hogging the charging ports, they got like
an electric keyboard?
They got electric keyboard plugged up. They got all kinds of stuff plugged up.
I have to say this too, though, because I took 15 flights in the past month to do that film. So I've been in a lot of airports, and there was at the gate there was like a little kind of, you could sit up at like a desk kind of thing, and there was like, I don't know, 15 outlets. And then like all the chairs have like an outlet in between them and just in like the waiting area. And it was so my phone is about to die. And I looked around and you would see one person with like 4 different things plugged in.
Yeah.
Like they would just take up so many things. It was the most frustrating. And it's really weird. I don't know how you are at the airport, but I'm not going to talk to anybody. I'm not going to go and say like, do you mind unplugging your like, either your computer
electric shaver,
or your iPad or your electric shaver or your portable drum kit or could you just unplug one of the things? I was like, this is crazy. But people are like that. And
That's
it's
why you got to get
not
yourself
good etiquette.
your own little portable charger. You got to get yourself a portable charger.
I know. I should put it in my massive hoodie that was terrifying people.
Now, wait, where are we?
The indecent proposal thing happens.
Oh, yeah. Wait, before that, Coach is on the phone with his niece, trying to talk to his niece, and his sister blackmails him. She says, you're not going to talk to Roro until you come home. Now, if you want to know where she is, you know exactly where she's in Detroit. So if you want to talk to her, you got to come talk to her face to face. So that puts him in a little bit of a spot because he really, really wants to go.
I feel like his sister's being a bit extra. Like let your brother go to Hawaii.
He needs a vacation.
Don't use your child as a pawn.
Yeah, people do that. Now, that'd be different if it was your daughter. He's like, do you want to come see your daughter or not? You're like, sure. I really want to go to Hawaii. That'd be different. Yeah. That would be different.
No, that's inappropriate. But you're an uncle. You're allowed to go to Hawaii and say hello to your niece on the phone. Sister's being extra. Okay.
Now, back in the first class lounge, this is when Golden Bachelor goes Indecent proposal. Yeah. And he makes the offer to Schmidt. He says he wants some private time with Cece in exchange for a card that can access any airport club in the world, minus New Zealand. Now Schmidt has been admiring this man the entire episode. So you would, like you mentioned earlier, but Schmidt has a heart, and Schmidt is actually a great person. So he starts to, go off on him, call him the names, the dirty old bitch, like we said before.
Snaps.
Oh yeah,
for real.
100%.
And also the cool thing I will say I like about this episode so much is that, and what you learn about Schmidt is that he doesn't tell Cece that this man was so disgusting and disrespectful, and was talking about her in a way that made it seem like she could just be like passed around, and because that would be awful to think that someone even saw you that way, and the fact that he protects that throughout the entire episode. Like, again, this is... New Girl is so special in that way that they will do those things that are like... This is like a Christmas movie, and it's not afraid to have that even be like woven into the story. And we lose no comedy, no nothing. It doesn't need to be like this huge bit. It's not the big A story. And they still manage to have that layer of love and protection, which is like... foundational in a series, for you to fall in love with them and their relationship. That's so sweet that it's not like she found out and then she snaps and then she goes and fights the guy or whatever the thing is. I feel like in a lot of sitcoms they would do. And there's just this movie aspect to New Girl sometimes with how they handle things like that so tenderly that I love.
If I wrote it, I would have been like, oh yeah, he thought you were a hoe. He said... What you gonna do about it? What you gonna do about it, Cece? This man said this. He said, "Oh, my
that's
God,
right." By the way, also in real life, I would probably tell my friend for sure. I'd be like, "Do you know what that psycho said?" I would for sure say it. But it is the most mature, loving, and feel-good Christmas movie moment for him not to tell her. And the fact that they did that is so beautiful. It's a real gift to the Schmidt-Cece storyline. And I feel like it's really important for the series. And it happens with him not saying it. Super sweet.
Now, we go back to Jess and Barry. He lets her know she can get on any flight she wants because they're best friends at this point. Anything. But instead, she suggests helping other people because that's how she is. She wants to help Winston and Nick. To obviously get up that standby list and get some first class seats. Now we cut to first class, which I love this. Oh my God, I love their first class moment. where Nick calls Jess to thank her, obviously for his cushy first class seat, but then he realizes that in that moment, she's not on her flight. She lies and says she's on a plane to London, but then he hears the PA announcement that she's still in the airport.
Yeah.
And so this is when Cindy comes up and wants Nick to shut his phone off, but he's not doing it. And Winston very loudly, "Hey, Nick, this is first class. Act like you've been somewhere before." Like aggressively loud. And obviously, this is one of those moments in New Girl where it's like clearly a New Girl moment.
Yeah.
Where the whole gang shows up. There could be an accident in a porta potty.
How is not one flight left, by the way, either? That like everybody's there.
Everybody's
not one flight. They've been there for so long. So much has happened.
Yes.
Did they get there 9 hours before all the flights? Like I know there's delays and everything and the whatever. I get that, but it feels cuckoo bananas.
Yeah, that they all, first of all, they all had to hit each other up. They all had to then go back and meet. So you guys left the lounge. Coach found his way back over to the exit. They got off the plane.
Off the plane?
Are you allowed to get off the plane and then get back on?
No, that plane is gone. So how are they going anywhere?
Yeah. So where are their bags? They did check bags, right?
I would assume so.
So what's going on?
That's also crazy. Are they going anywhere for Christmas? Because I feel like they gave up all of Chicago to come off the plane.
Yeah. They ultimately ended up back on the plane, but in the back seat of the plane.
Yeah, it's super
So was it the
crazy.
same plane?
Would you have to buy a whole new ticket? Because it's not like you had a ticket and you got off the plane. Now you got to buy a whole new ticket.
And the plane was already filled.
Yeah.
This ain't make it make sense.
Yeah.
New Girl, we got some problems with this.
We got some questions. Still one of my favorite episodes, but I got a lot of questions.
Yeah. 100%. And so they meet up with Jess outside, and Nick convinces her, and they all convince her, hey, you're going to get on that plane. You're going to go and see your guy, Ryan. No matter, just do it. Just do it, And then to close out the episode, obviously, you see Nick and Winston. They're crammed in the back of the plane. Cece and Schmidt, they're sitting together on the plane in New York. It's all going according to plan. Coach, he walks into his niece's bedroom and says hi to his niece, which was so cute. And then Jess arrives in London. There's no one there to greet her. Nope. She calls Ryan. Hey, where are you? And he's like, I got your message. I'm outside your loft in L.A. It happens. It happens from time to time.
The fact that there's no follow-up text from either of them.
That's irresponsible on Ryan's part. That's irresponsible.
He's going to surprise her. No, that makes sense. Like if she says flight's canceled, I'm not coming, and then he does something sweet and surprise her. That's her. You're about to get back on the plane. Your flight got uncanceled. He has to pick you up from the airport in London. Like you need to tell him you're on the plane. That's bonkaroonies. But him being sweet and being like she's heading back to the loft alone, I'm going to surprise her. He's fine. She's making big mistakes.
My question is this. It takes longer to get from London to L.A. than it takes to get to L.A. to London. It's quicker to go L.A. to London, right? How is it that she's on a plane, lands, but in that time he managed to book a flight, get to Heathrow Airport, which looks like they live on the countryside, drive an hour or 2 hours to get to Heathrow, fly to L.A., get through that L.A. traffic, and get to the loft all before she lands?
This is what I'm saying. I think
Who was he, the Flash?
Episode, if we do the if you watch the episode, this is what I think. I think that opening scene of the episode happens at like 4 a.m. and they headed to the airport like 18 hours before all the flights.
Man.
And that text she sent that she's not going, that had to happen really early. The math is not mathing.
No.
Unless they were at LAX for days.
Yes.
For days. But I would love a fan to rewatch this episode and just like homeland this for me. Like I want push pins on the board. I want string, and I want you to make it make sense.
Yeah.
Because I bet you someone could make it make sense.
We want your string theory. That's what we want.
We want the string theory. Make it make
Make
sense
it make
for
sense.
us. Draw it up, and then and then we'll put it up on our Instagram account to explain how it was all possible.
Well, that's it. First of all, that's it. That's the end of the episode.
The most anticlimactic way.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Well, how about I'll try again.
I'm dying.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
What an ending. That we need a fan to explain for
God
us.
only knows. Da, 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 da. We didn't talk about that needle drop moment. God only knows by she and him, which is of course
right.
Zoe. And M Ward. It's a reference to the line Billy Eichner says earlier in the episode. People think Christmas is going to be like Love Actually. We all do. And God only knows it's going to play over their happy ending, but it won't.
But it won't. It does. It does. It does.
And that is the end of one of the greatest Christmas episodes in comedy TV history ever.
That's right. Ever.
Says
Prove us wrong. Prove us wrong, even though we have questions.
We have so many questions, and we need your help to understand it.
Yes. Favorite moment of the episode, Hannah? Favorite moment?
Favorite moment of the episode. Honestly, Billy Eichner had my heart in this episode. He just really did. Every way he delivered his lines, how funny he is, how fast he is. I could watch him do anything. I also remember when I met him, he's a very tall man.
Yeah.
I just feel like you meet so many male actors, and they're usually not so formidable. And I remember he walked in, I was like, oh my goodness.
You're a large man.
You're a large man. Very handsome.
I would say probably for me, there are two moments. One, when Jess finally is about to board the plane, and the gang's all waiting for her. Usually in typical movie or TV fashion, they give that long speech and then they run. I love how they're like, "We ain't got time for this, girl. You gotta get on the plane."
Go.
And then she runs and comes back, and it's like, "All right, enough. What are you doing? Like, you just you're gonna miss the flight doing this."
Do you remember
dumb shit.
that was the last thing that we shot there? I feel like, or the last group thing, and then like I was gonna be wrapped and go home in the car and do all the things. Like, so they needed that hug, and it was Trent directing, and I think everybody kind of had it. And so I don't know if you noticed, but they did not go in for any singles in that moment. They just did it as a group, and you watch. Jake, who I think at that point was like, we have so much more left to shoot here, you guys. Like, let's just do this. And so the get it done, like energy was 100% real. We just needed to get this group shot. We were not going in for any coverage of it. And because Trent is phenomenal, he knows how to kind of just like make sure he can get the energy right. But you see Jake lean over to kind of hug her, and it's so Jake and not Nick, because he's like, he just gives her like a tap, and he's like, go. Like, it's so funny. The big emotional, it's supposed to be a big emotional hug of all of us.
Yeah.
But we were also real people trying to get out of a real airport in Ontario.
Oh, yeah. And another one of my favorite moments of this episode was when Nick and the kiosk worker behind the desk were arguing when Nick's trying to like, he's tearing up people's boarding passes. And she's like calling security. He calls security on her. He's like,
wait, what does he say? Like, he's like, Brenda, you're in a mood. Or whatever her name was. Deborah, you're in a mood.
Deborah, you're in a mood.
That is true. That was also a line that caught me off guard and made me laugh so hard. He's like, look at you in your fake outfit. He's trying to flip it on her. It's so great. Gosh. Oh, yeah, that was a great scene. These little vignettes that happened. So funny.
Quote of the episode.
Quote of the episode.
That's right. We polled on our Instagram account, and these are your favorite quotes. Your favorite quotes to the fans out there. You all chose. So we got 3 here. Hey, Nick, this is first class. Act like you've been somewhere before. That was by Winston. Schmidt says, Nassau County, Billy Joel, one more time, Piano Man, Good Night Saigon. That's a sad one. Cry about that, you dirty old bitch. And then we also got, call me if you want to hang out this week. I was thinking about going to the mountains and crying at some point, but that's flexible. And the landslide winner, I gotta say, is, hey, Nick, this is first class. Act like you've been somewhere before. Which I would improvise.
It's versatile. You could use that in so many real life situations now.
Yeah.
Bring it back, you guys.
Act like you've been somewhere before.
Act like you've been somewhere before. Okay, so we've got a really fun thing that we are going to start doing because we get so many Instagram comments, DMs, emails, voice memos, all of these great things. And we just want to make sure in every recap episode that we can just highlight one of our Roomy messages of the week. And this one is from Ellen. Eileen? E-L-I-N.
You guys, big heart, I want to express how much we truly appreciate that you do this podcast. It is a dream for our comfort show to continue through you guys in this way so long after the show ended. To get to hear your take on the episodes, to get firsthand recounts of what went on behind the scenes, all the lore, the guests, and all the silly messing around. It's absolutely lovely and so appreciated. I've been watching New Girl on repeat for at least more than 7 years, and since I met my boyfriend 2.5 years ago, it's been our joint comfort show that we watch almost every night. I even made him a New Girl quiz with questions from the podcast as well for his last birthday, where the prize after was a New Girl t-shirt that I designed myself. That's funny, I don't remember getting any money for that one. Okay. Make us on too. That's the level of crazy love we have for this amazing show. Long rant over. I just wanted and needed to say thank you. So excited to have you back.
Oh my goodness gracious.
Ellen, E-L-I-N.
That's so sweet. Thank you.
Thank you very
Lamorne
much.
and I also have designed t-shirts and sweatshirts and hats and bags.
That's right. 100%.
So you can go check out our Mess Around merch. But I want to see a picture of your merch that you made. Send us that picture. I want to see it, Ellen. I love it.
Absolutely.
I love it. Well, we are back, you guys. We are back. This podcast is on. We want you guys to send us your messages, your thoughts, your string theories of how this Christmas episode was actually possible at all.
Next week, we'll be back with episode 412, Shark. Okay, again, make sure you follow us. That's the way we communicate. You follow us on IG and TikTok at The Mess Around Pod. That's at The Mess Around Pod. And send us your questions to themessaroundpod@gmail.com. Anything else you got going on, let us know. We just love to hear from you. And that's it. We'll talk soon, Hannah.
Talk soon. Bye.
The Mess Around is a Headgum podcast created and hosted by Hannah Simone and Lamorne Morris. The show is produced by Wendy Heisler and engineered by Sam Rogich, with production support from Kyle Chevron and Ali Khan. Our executive producer is Anya Kanevskaya. Katie Moose is our VP of Content at Headgum. Our theme music is by Ronald Jukebox Jackson. For more podcasts by Headgum, visit headgum.com or wherever you listen to your favorite shows.
That was a Headgum podcast.